Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell. Welcome to part 2 of my Amiga 2000HD repair and refurbishment video series. Today I'm going to be removing this Motorola 68000 microprocessor from its socket, and then I'm going to unsolder the actual processor socket itself from the motherboard, and I'm going to clean up the board and solder in a brand new socket. So let's get going. Okay, I'm going to be using this really nice desoldering gun that I recently purchased. This one has the dual pump. You know, it's got the extra suck power. You know, so this should work out really good on that Amiga 2000 motherboard. Now, I have the temperature set at 380 degrees Celsius, which is the lowest temperature. And that should work just fine. That's around 700 degrees Fahrenheit, for those of you that are used to the Fahrenheit temperature measurement. So yeah, I have it set for 380 degrees Celsius, which is the lowest setting. I noticed that a lot of you have this thing bumped up like around the center of the dial. That's way too hot. Because I've also noticed in a lot of your videos, you wind up burning up your fiberglass PCBs. When you start seeing like a lighter yellow or a white look around each one of your, like a white or a yellow discoloration around the holes, you know, the leads that you're trying to, that you're unsoldering, that means the temperature is too hot. That means you're actually burning the fiberglass. Yeah, it takes a lot of heat to turn the fiberglass like a light yellow color or a white color. Or you're applying too much pressure, or both. So when you're using an iron like this one, okay, you want to have it set at its lowest setting, which is 380 degrees Celsius, which is around 700 degrees Fahrenheit. If you need to bump it up a little bit, fine. You know, for huge ground planes, voltage planes, you might have to go up to around 750 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, closer to 400 degrees Celsius. But you don't really want to go up much past 400 degrees Celsius. In fact, try to leave it at at the lowest setting. That should work just fine. Okay, I'm using the 1mm tip. I also have a 1.5mm tip for this and a 2mm tip for this desoldering gun. Okay, and then what I did on the sponge was I cut a hole in the center of the sponge there with my X-Acto knife using like a washer. Okay, and it helps with cleaning your tip, because I found that if you have some kind of an edge on that sponge, that it actually does a much better job when you're cleaning the tip. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of solder on my desoldering gun tip. You want to make sure these stay tinned. Okay. Wipe that off. Okay. Okay, seems to be working pretty good. Yeah. So that's ready to go. Let me get some solder out here. Alright, so let's get going with this, okay? I'll be back shortly. Okay, before I get started here, I wanted to show you the set of tips that I purchased for this desoldering gun. I bought a set of these tips. Okay, one's a 1mm, one's a 1.5mm, and one's a 2mm. The 2mm sizes are good for like when you have to desolder parts like on power supplies or tabs that are soldered onto like huge ground planes and stuff like that. That's when the 2mm tip is actually needed. The 1.5mm is a general purpose one. Yeah, and then you have your standard 1mm, which is what's on my soldering gun, or desoldering gun now, is a 1mm tip. I found these hard to find on the internet. So I'm going to probably wind up getting at least 2 or 3 more sets of these just to make sure I have them. And that right there is, I don't know if you can read that or see that, but that's the, okay, I think that's the model number right there, these tips, and that's the company that produces them. Maybe this will help you find these tips on the internet. But I wanted to show these to you, the tips that are for this desoldering gun. Alright, these are the flat blade screwdrivers that I'll be using to remove the 68000 microprocessor from its socket. I'll use the smaller one to help loosen it up, raise it up just a little bit, enough to where I can get the larger, these are Craftsman, I use high quality tools. I don't penny pinch on my tools, because if you get good quality tools and you take care of them, they'll last you the rest of your life. So I consider tools an investment. But anyway, this is a larger spade tip screwdriver, which will help remove the 68000 microprocessor without damaging it or the socket. So I'm not really worried about the socket. I'm going to replace the socket, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. I think this is raised enough to where I don't have to use the smaller screwdriver. Sometimes you need to use a smaller one to get it raised up a little bit before you can use the larger size. Now normally I don't recommend using screwdrivers for removing chips. I recommend actually using a chip puller. But I don't have a chip puller large enough for a chip that big, so I'm forced to use, screwdrivers. Forced to use a screwdriver. Okay. Now that's a high quality IC socket. I can tell by how well it's gripping this processor. Okay. So, here is the processor. I'm not worried about zapping it with static electricity because I'm going to throw this one in the garbage. I don't reuse processors once the leads get this bad, That's really bad. I don't know if there's enough light on this or what, but when the leads, when they get this bad, that much green on them and corroded or whatever, I mean, yeah, I know you can like scrape that away, but when you do that, you scrape enough of the metal away to actually make these leads really thin and brittle, and it's just not worth my time. It's not worth taking a chance on that, on those leads breaking, you know, when you try to plug them into the new socket. So I usually just throw these away. I don't even bother trying to clean them. And then I'll, although I might try to re-clean this. But the thing is, though, if you don't get all of this corrosion off these legs, when you plug this chip into the new socket, it'll actually cause the new socket to get corroded too. So I don't really want to take a chance. I'll probably wind up throwing this away. And that's a shame, because this is a genuine Motorola 68000 microprocessor. These are the chips that I prefer to use instead of the third-party chips, you know. So it's a shame that I have to throw this one away. But I've got more of these, so I'm not worried about it, you know. But yeah, that one will go in the garbage. And then I'll zoom in on the socket so that you can see the socket area. Let me move my solder out of the way. Okay, yeah, I'll zoom in where you can see the 68000 microprocessor socket a little bit better. You can see how it's corroded and why it has to be removed. I mean, you can see all that corrosion in there, you know. So yeah, that socket's got to come out. And so that's what I'm going to do next. So I will be back shortly. All right, I'm back. Let's get this socket out of here, shall we? I know a lot of you recommend that you add solder to these first before you unsolder this, but normally I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and see what happens here. That's probably a ground laying there. I might have to add solder to these. I don't know, it's coming pretty good. Yeah, I might have to add solder to these. I don't know, it's actually... Okay, I may have to add solder to these. Alrighty, well, be that way. Darn it, I didn't want to have to add solder, darn it. Okay, turn my iron on. Let it heat up. I didn't want to have to add solder, but damn it, I'm going to have to. Looks like I might have to add solder. Alrighty, that's fine. That's fine, man. Be that way. I need to add water to my sponge, so I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. Alrighty, my iron should be hot enough now. Let me see, okay. Alrighty, my iron should be hot enough. So, let's go ahead and add some solder to this. I guess sometimes you do have to add solder. That's fine. No worries, man. Is it still recording? Yeah, still recording. Let's get this thing. Okay, I need to trim that tip. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. These are really tiny pads. I mean, oh my god. Could they spare some pad around these leads? I mean, oh my god, these are tiny. They are. They're pretty small. Pretty small. Pretty small, man. Oh my god. I forgot how many damn leads this chip's got. Shoot. Like, what is it, 32 leads per side? Oh my god. Yep, 32 leads per side. I mean, this is... Okay, this one lead here is going to be a pain in the ass because it's on the ground plane. I already know that's going to be a pain in the ass. Alright. Two of the leads are already unsoldered. And another thing I use a... I'll show you the type of tweezers I use. I use a pair of tweezers like this. It's like curved, and so they'll fit in between those the leads of the ICs perfectly, so I can move them, see if they move. You know, I physically want to move that lead, make sure it moves in the hole. And so I go like this. I turn it at an angle where I can easily get to it, and I grab that lead and see if it moves. And if it doesn't move, well, I gotta work. That one moves, so that one's free. Alright, this one's not free. So I'm gonna have to redo that. So I'll put a little bit more solder on that and redo it. And it should be fine. Yeah, this one here, I'll have to redo that. Alright, so let me turn my iron off. I don't need it right now. Alright, so put that over there. I don't know, it might be better just to have this like here. I can more really get to it. Ah, shut up. Shut up, man. We're gonna get this done now, man. Okay, I need to put my goggles on. I know this video ain't perfect, but oh well. Yeah, that extra solder. Yeah, that's what it needed. Yep, that's what it needed. Oh yeah, baby. There's something just so satisfying about this. And you guys that have used one of these, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, can you all see it underneath the camera? So I want to make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, it's so much nicer and faster and easier than trying to use solder wick and a hand solder pump and all that. Oh my God. So much faster too. Yeah, that's on a ground plane. I'll have to do that by hand. That's on a ground plane. Those two usually are. So, yeah, but other than that, these other ones, they're going pretty good. It should go that quick. If it doesn't go that quick and you find that you're burning the board, something's wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, that's working great. Man, that extra 200 psi. Oh yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. Makes all the difference in the world. And now you see why I swear by these irons, these soldering guns, with the extra suck power. You see it in action. No fuss, no muss. Yep, no fuss, no muss, man. Yep, working good. Okay. There's three of them that didn't do so well, but those three, yeah, those are usually the ones that are on the ground plane. They're hard to unsolder. Okay, so now what I do is I turn this at an angle, okay, and I use these tweezers, and I actually physically move these. If they don't move, it's not going to come out. They're not going to come out. Okay. Well, shoot. Okay, what I'm going to have to do, turn my iron on, my regular iron. Yeah, because those have to move. Some have to do this. You have to use your regular iron just to heat it up and just pop it over. And wait for it to heat up. I think I have it set at 650 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 343 Celsius. Okay, so I have it set at 332 Celsius. Alrighty, plenty hot enough. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is... okay. You can hear it popping. They stick to the side. They don't always fully unsolder. I mean, there's no solder in the hole anymore, but it sticks to the side of the hole. Okay. Another thing you can do on the ones that are stubborn, yeah, unsoldering 6 to 8,000 microprocessor socket is always a pain in the ass. It's always a pain in the ass, and those of you that tried to do it, you know what I'm talking about. They're always a pain in the ass. Always a pain in the ass. Yeah, some of these I'm going to have to redo because they're just not coming out. Alright, I usually don't like doing it like this. All right, let me get my cutters. Okay, I'll be back shortly. All right, one of the things I like to do to make it easier to remove this processor socket is I like to cut the socket in half. Okay, just cut it in half. And you want to try to hold on to it so the shock doesn't damage the board, the PCB. You hold on to the socket to help absorb some of that shock. And you just cut it in half, just like that. And this way, the socket is actually in two separate pieces. Okay, so it should make it easier to remove each half. Okay, just making sure it's recording. All right, so for some reason this one's being a real pain in the butt. I mean, oh my God. Now some of these you're going to have to resolder. I mean, you have to do it all over again because they're being a really stubborn pain in the ass. Which one was it? It's that one. Because it's stuck to the damn side. Alright. Stuck to the side. Ugh, goddamn solder over there. Okay. So, let's try to do this again, shall we? Clean my tip. Hopefully that did it. Okay, so that's moving, that's moving, that's moving. Oh, goddamn it. You don't want to scratch the goddamn PCB. Okay, so those are moving, those are moving, that's moving, that's moving. Alright. Yeah, but these tweezers usually work really well for breaking these free from the side. Yeah. You can tell when they're free. Okay. Alright. I'll be right back. I have to get a permanent ink pen so I can mark the ones that need to be redone. So, I'll be right back shortly. Okay, I'm back. Part of the reason why I was having problems with this is that this soldering tip right here is worn out. It's worn out. So I need to change that soldering tip. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but it's definitely worn out. It's like a C-shaped. and they're not supposed to be C-shaped like that. Okay, yeah, so that one is basically garbage. But I got these new, they're high temperature tips. They're rated at up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. So these are perfect for large ground planes. You know, these can go up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very important that you do not exceed the tip's maximum temperature range, or else the first time you do that, you might as well take that tip and throw it in the garbage, because you ruined the tip. These tips have a rated maximum temperature. Now your standard tips, like your silver ones, you know, those are rated at up to around, I think they're around 725 degrees Fahrenheit, 750 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. These here, the higher temperature ones, they're rated at up to around 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Now what happens when you exceed the maximum temperature is that the tip, it loses its hardness, and it can actually bend or warp. Oh yeah, yeah. It'll actually start like getting soft, and yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay, and this is your standard, I think it's like a 3 millimeter or 4, I think it's like 2.5 millimeter spade tip, which is perfect for general purpose use, you know. You don't want to use a pointy tip, and I've seen a lot of you guys use pointy tips on your soldering iron. No, you don't want to use a pointy tip. You want to use a spade tip. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You want to use a spade tip. Well, damn it, the tip keeps wanting to move. I don't want the tip to move when I'm tightening this. Okay. You want to hand tighten only. Do not use a wrench on this. Now, I've actually seen stupid people do that. But anyway, there's the new tip. I think this one should work a lot better, and it's rated at a higher temperature. I think these are rated up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect. All right, so now I can turn my iron back on. It's set for around I think it's set for around between 600, around 625, I think is what it's set at. 625 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 332 degrees Celsius. So, okay. I already marked the board, the ones that are not loose yet and they need to be redone. So that's what I'm going to do now. I have to add some more solder, and I also put a new sponge on here because the other one didn't have a hole cut in the middle like that, and I like having that. So yeah, so let me go ahead and tin this. We're gonna get this baby tinned. This new tip, get nice and tinned. It'll be nice and pretty. And it works so nice. Oh yeah, look at that, smooth and shiny. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, so let's get this thing soldered again. And try to use the desoldering gun again. Try to suck up this stuff. Okay. Yeah, that ground plane, man, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, so let's try this again. Yeah, desoldering these processor sockets, they can be a pain in the ass. They really can. Oh my God, it can be a pain in the ass. I might have to bump the temperature up just a wee bit. I don't want to go to 400. 400 I think would be way too high. Actually, I'm going to leave it where it's at. I don't really want it burn up the board, the fiberglass board, so make sure you can see it. Can you guys see it? Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. This gun works really good. Oh my God. Works really good. Really does. Man, for some reason this is sucking up that solder. Okay, that should do it. I mean, that should frickin' do it. Might have to take this iron here and maybe I don't know. Okay. All right. Damn it. Really don't have enough room on this workbench. I'm used to having a lot more room. I'm used to having a 4-foot workbench all to myself. Yeah, for some reason, boy, these are not coming out of here. I mean, oh my God. This is being a real pain in the ass. I don't know why that is. It's not wanting to come out. Man. It's not wanting to come out. Shoot. Yeah. It's not wanting to come out. Oh, man, I hate... I really hate unsoldering these processor sockets. They're a pain in the ass. They're a real pain in the ass to undo. I'm going to get out of here. Most of this is moving. Like, what the hell? Yeah, this is not wanting to come out of here. I mean, oh my God. Damn. I don't know why. I mean, sometimes it's like this. Some of these boards are a real pain in the ass. Real pain in the ass to unsolder some of these chips or IC sockets. Jesus. Damn. I didn't want this video taking so long. That's part of it, because I'm under the pressure of doing this underneath the video. You know. Okay. Okay, so we got that put there. Okay, let me try to mark this again. I might have to redo it. Damn it. I'll just damage the board, Mr. Campbell. What the hell? I'm already getting frustrated here, but relax. Stuff like this happens. How many years you've been working on this kind of crap? Relax. Don't let it get to you. It's just the way it is sometimes. Sometimes these things can be stubborn. Doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Relax. Take a breath. Okay, so that one... Okay, this one here needs to be redone. Yeah, that one's not coming out. Most of these are looking good. I mean, they're done. Those three. These three right here in the middle are always the culprits. I think they're on a large ground plane or a voltage plane. That one there, for some reason. I'll mark that one. But now you see why people get paid the big bucks for doing repair work like this, because you see what's entailed. It's a lot of work. I wouldn't even think about replacing a processor socket for less than, you know, at least $50. Oh yes, you heard me right. But now you see why. It's a real pain in the ass. I mean, trying to unsolder this 64-pin socket without damaging the board that's already messed up by battery acid. So it weakens the structural integrity of the board, you know. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more that are keeping it. We'll make it, okay, that one's on a ground plane too. So there's 6 that are keeping it from coming out. And this is only the first half of the processor socket. So you got the other half. But if I remember correctly, this side here is much easier to do. I think there's only one place on it, right here, where there's a ground plane. But the rest of these go really easy, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. So, let's go ahead and try to redo this. Add some more solder. Sometimes, oh God, man, I hate these stiff stiff cables on these new irons. I'm used to my old higher quality iron that has a much nicer cable. Much nicer cable. All right. Okay, so I added more solder. And let's see if I can get this done. I mean, I might have to, okay, let me try turning up this just a little bit. I don't want to burn that circuit board. Oh, man. Now imagine how long this would take if you had to do it with a solder sucker and solder wick and all that. Oh man. it's not coming out. I mean, oh my God. It's not coming out. Jesus. Oh man, this is being a pain in the ass. It really is. Being a real pain in the ass. I might not be able to do this board. I might not be able to get this out of here. There's so much battery acid on the other side that I think it's affecting. Man. Oh shit. Don't damage the fucking board, Mr. Campbell. Watch what the hell you're doing. Yeah. Man, I can't believe this. Okay. What I may have to do is... Whew, shoot. I'm wondering if I can pull these up. Yeah, there's a lot of corrosion. See, that's part of the problem. I'll show you. I'll put the board down. I'll show you what the problem is. The reason why it's so... I'm having a hard time unsoldering this. Move that out of the way, move that out of the way. I'll show you what's going on here. But as you can see, okay, there's a lot of corrosion right here. Okay, this is the side that I'm, yeah, that's the side right there that I'm having a hard time unsoldering. This side here usually comes off real easy, no problem. Okay, but this side right here, this is a real pain in the ass to get off. Because there's a huge, I think this is a ground plane here. You got some voltage planes. Yeah, for some reason this side is always hard to come off. And when you have corrosion from the battery acid on the board like this, it doesn't allow the heat to transfer like it should through the through holes, you know. It doesn't allow enough of the heat to transfer. So sometimes it's impossible to get this off without damaging the board. I mean, that's just the way it is. I can try to lift up on it, and sometimes what will happen is the plastic will lift up off of these contacts here, but you're taking a chance on damaging the board if you do that. You're taking a chance damaging the board. So, I don't know. We'll see. Let me see what will happen. Oh, let me zoom back out. Well, I'm thinking about taking a quick coffee break, and I'll be back. So, yeah, I'll be back shortly. I'm going to take a quick coffee break.